Have you ever, stopped to think about how something so simple, this idea born in a tiny office, above a pizza place, could completely change how billions of us learn and entertain ourselves and connect?
It's wild when you put it like that.
Right. I mean, imagine a world before easy video sharing. It feels like a digital stone age trying to send a video file back then.
Oh, completely. A different universe.
So today we're doing a deep dive into the YouTube story, from startup to superpower. Our source material for this is, well, it's like a cinematic chronicle, really. It takes you on this journey from these incredibly humble beginnings, like seriously humble, all the way to its massive global impact today.
Yeah, it covers a lot of ground.
And our mission here is to unpack those key moments, the surprising innovations and, the inevitable controversies that shape YouTube. We want to reveal how it didn't just tweak the internet.
No, not at all.
It fundamentally reshaped how we even think about media and communication.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. How did this simple video platform become such a mirror of society?
That's the core question, isn't it? Because YouTube is so central now, it's genuinely hard to picture life without it.
Right.
But rewind to 2005, the internet landscape. So different. Online video wasn't this vibrant thing we know now. For the average person, it was more like a tech wasteland.
Like wasteland, that paints a picture.
Yeah.
So back then, with all that clunky sharing, what were the big roadblocks? What made it feel like the Stone Age?
Well, the hurdles were huge, really, on multiple levels. First off, just getting a video onto the internet, that was an ordeal.
Right.
Like record something, maybe on a digital camcorder, get it onto your computer, and then you hit the file size problem. Even a short clip. Massive. Huge file.
Forget emailing that.
Exactly. Forget it. Email services back then had tiny attachment limits, like minuscule. Your cat video, they'd probably just bounce right back, never reach anyone.
Okay, so even if you somehow wrestled the file onto the web, then what? Hosting it yourself sounds like a complete nightmare for most people.
Oh, absolutely. Unless you were super tech savvy, maybe running your own server, or you were a big company with all the infrastructure.
Which most people weren't.
Right. The idea of having your own space to store and stream video, totally out of reach. And the bandwidth costs, forget about it. Prohibitive for personal use, super expensive just to let a few friends watch your video.
And the formats. Oh God, the formats.
Yeah. Zero standardization. You'd have one format, your friend's computer needed another. It was like trying to play a Blu-ray on a VCR.
Oh, yeah.
And you needed specific codecs, basically digital language the video speaks. Maybe your friend didn't have the right one installed. Tough luck, just a fragmented, really frustrating mess.
So the founders saw this giant gap.
Exactly. That's what's fascinating. They didn't just see a small problem. They saw this clear, massive void, a fundamental barrier stopping people from just sharing moments easily. They saw a problem crying out for a simple, universal fix.
And that's where Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Karim come in. Their story starts, interestingly enough, back at PayPal.
Which is really telling, yeah.
You had Chad Hurley, the quiet designer type, right? Fine arts background, obsessed with clean, intuitive interfaces, making things easy to use.
User experience was his thing.
Totally. Then Steve Chen, the brilliant coder born in Taiwan, a whiz with back-end logic, making the complex stuff work smoothly behind the scenes, like digital plumbing.
Yeah, the engine room guy.
And Karim. More reserved, maybe, but with this incredibly sharp sense of user behavior. He just seemed to get what people wanted online.
Like he could almost predict it.
Yeah. And that shared PayPal experience, super important.
Oh, absolutely critical. They just watched firsthand this digital payment revolution happen. They saw how a simple, user-friendly platform could scale up to millions, handling complex stuff but making it feel easy.
Right. They learned about scale.
Exactly. They got unique insights into building and scaling these huge online platforms. They knew the infrastructure required, how to simplify complex processes for, everyone. This wasn't just some friends messing around with a website idea.
No, these guys were pros.
They were seasoned pros who understood online innovation deep down. They'd seen a platform disrupt a whole industry.
Okay, so then comes the aha moment, that real moment of friction that sparks the YouTube idea. There are a couple of stories floating around, right?
Yeah, the legends. One popular one is Karim struggling, like really struggling, to find footage online of Janet Jackson's Super Bowl incident.
The wardrobe malfunction, yeah.
Yep.
He couldn't find it easily. The internet failed him.
Right. Something seemingly so simple. And the alternative story, maybe a bit more down to earth.
The dinner party.
Yeah, the dinner party. The three of them are just complaining about how hard it is to share videos after, say, a party or a get-together. They've got these moments on camera, but no easy way to actually show everyone.
Which is relatable, even now sometimes. But
Right.
back then, impossible.
Totally. So myth or reality, the core problem was crystal clear. And the idea that came out of it was genius in its simplicity. What if there was just one site where anyone could upload and share videos instantly, globally?
Anyone. That's the key, isn't it? Not just pros, not big media companies,
Yeah.
anyone.
Exactly. Anyone with a camera and an internet connection, that was the differentiator. They weren't just adding a feature, they were creating a whole new way for people to share their lives visually, something that just didn't exist. It was about democratizing media.
Taking the power away from the gatekeeper.
And pretty much. It wasn't just about, silly cat videos, though there were plenty of those. It signaled that traditional media's monopoly, it was ending. Anyone could be a broadcast.
Wow.
The truly revolutionary insight was tapping into that basic human need to share, to be seen, and then just giving people a super easy platform for it. Frictionless. It completely flipped decades of media structure on its head.
And the very first step in this revolution is maybe the most humble video ever. April 23, 2005. Jawed Karim at the San Diego Zoo.
In front of the elephants?
Yep. Awkwardly safe. What was it? Cool thing about these guys is that they have really, really long trunks. And that's cool.
Classic.
Uploaded to youtube.com. Just this tiny whisper, right? An 18-second grainy clip. No hint of the global behemoth it would become.
It's the most unassuming start imaginable. No flash, no viral stunts, just a guy and some elephants.
And that's kind of why it worked, maybe?
I think so. It perfectly captured that raw, unpolished, authentic vibe that early YouTube was all about, and the simplicity was just transformative. No manual needed. Click upload, boom!
Your moment is out there.
Yeah, your thoughts, your songs, your jokes, your life potential global stage. This accessibility just empowered ordinary people. Teens in bedrooms, vloggers sharing passions, musicians without record deals, pranksters. They all suddenly had this platform they never ever had before.
Democratizing broadcasting, like you said.
Totally, letting creativity bubble up from everywhere.
And almost immediately, these organic viral hits started popping up. No marketing plan, just stuff people loved and shared, like Evolution of Dance.
Oh yeah, Judson Layplay 2006, that thing was everywhere. Just pure creative fun, so shareable.
Not slick, but real.
Yeah.
Or Charlie Bit My Finger.
Huh, that one's timeless. Just a pure, unscripted family moment. Utterly charming, relatable. Millions watched it.
Okay, go on the treadmills. That was huge.
Groundbreaking. Showed you could make these incredibly creative music videos and share them globally, completely outside MTV or the old channels. Proved that quality content could just find its audience.
So these weren't just videos.
No, they were phenomena. They showed this deep human desire for connection, for entertainment, that just wasn't being met elsewhere. They spread like crazy through early social sharing, user-generated content unleashed.
Driven by authenticity.
Exactly. Raw, unfiltered stuff, people connecting with something genuine. Looking bigger picture, it showed the massive untapped power of individuals creating media. And that human urge to express yourself, to connect, it was a signal. The media future wasn't just for the pros anymore. Authenticity often beat polish.
And the money people started noticing.
Fast.
Oh, yeah. Investors weren't blind. They saw the explosion. November 2005, just months after the zoo video, Sequoia Capital jumps in. $3.5 million. A decent chunk of change back then for a startup like that.
A significant bet. And they were right. A few nights later, YouTube's hitting 100 million views a day.
Wow. 100 million a day. That's insane growth.
Astronomical numbers. But that growth, it was a paradox. A double-edged sword, really.
How so?
Well, users and views are soaring, right? But the infrastructure, the actual tech holding it all together, it was groaning under the strain, struggling badly.
Servers melting down.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Servers pushed to the absolute limit. Slow loading, buffering, users getting frustrated. And then there's the looming threat of copyright lawsuits.
Ah, yes. The big media companies.
Exactly. Hollywood studios, record labels, TV networks, seeing their stuff pop up on YouTube without permission, they weren't happy. These lawsuits could have easily just bankrupted the whole thing. Huge risk.
And they weren't making money yet, right?
Not really. Monetization was still like a distant dream. They had this massive audience, but no clear way to make it pay. Burning through cash, just keeping the servers running.
So this raises a huge question. How do you handle that kind of explosive growth when your business model is shaky, your tech is struggling, and you've got massive legal threats breathing down your neck?
It was incredibly precarious. Thrilling, maybe, but super risky.
Which leads us right into the next massive chapter. October 2006. Google steps in.
The pivotal moment.
They buy YouTube for, wait for it, $1.65 billion.
Billion, with a B.
And YouTube hadn't even turned a profit. People must have thought Google was crazy.
Oh, many did. Skeptics were everywhere, scoffing at that price tag, a company bleeding cash. But Google's thinking was deeper, more strategic.
They didn't want to miss out again, like with MySpace or Facebook.
That was part of it, for sure.
Yeah.
They were still smarting from missing those boats, couldn't afford to miss the next big wave. But Sergey Brin and Larry Page, they saw something else too.
What was that?
They saw that attention is currency, yes, but more critically. User-generated video was the next frontier for online search and information. They weren't just buying a website.
They were buying the future of online video consumption.
Exactly. The future of how people would find news, entertainment, learn stuff. Ensuring Google stayed absolutely central to the internet's next phase. That was the long game. Owning a foundational piece of how we'd all consume information online.
Okay, so Google swoops in. What did they bring to the table? What did they fix?
They brought everything YouTube desperately needed. First, the obvious. Deep pockets, money. That immediately solved the infrastructure nightmare. They could pour cash into servers, scaling capacity without constantly worrying about crashes.
So, better user experience, fewer buffering wheels.
Instantly better. Second, and this was huge, legal muscle. Expertise. Absolutely vital for tackling those copyright lawsuits. Google had the teams, the resources to negotiate those landmark deals with media companies and to develop systems like Content ID.
We'll get into Content ID later, yeah.
And third, maybe most importantly, Google already had the beginnings of a massive, super efficient advertising engine, AdSense.
Right, they knew how to monetize eyeballs.
They knew how to make it work. This transformed YouTube. From a scrappy startup fighting for survival into a global media platform with a real path to actually making money. It wasn't just buying a company, it was this huge investment in the future of media consumption worldwide. Incredible foresight, really.
And then for the creators, the real game changer landed in 2007, the partner program.
Oh yeah, revolutionary is the right word.
Because suddenly, ordinary users, the people just uploading stuff for fun, they could actually earn money from ads on their videos.
Yeah.
This basically creates the whole idea of being a YouTuber as a job.
Absolutely. It totally shifted the paradigm. Creators weren't just sharing anymore. They were incentivized to make more content, better content, build an audience, engage with them.
And new stars started emerging, not from Hollywood, but from bedrooms.
Exactly. Bedrooms, garages, classrooms, new icons. People like Ryan Higa with his clever skits proved you didn't need a huge budget.
Michelle Phan, with beauty tutorials, basically invented a genre.
Totally disrupted the beauty industry, empowered millions. Then PewDiePie, just reacting to video games, builds this massive entertainment empire purely on personality and connection.
And Jenna Marbles, her humor, that authenticity, how to trick people into thinking you're good looking, so real, so relatable.
Millions connected with that stuff because it felt genuine.
And it wasn't just about the ad money anymore, was it? They started building empires.
Right. They weren't just YouTubers, they were entrepreneurs. Launching books, going on tours, building brands, starting actual businesses, all spinning off their channels. The shift in power was immense.
So you have to ask, how did this program just blow up the old media model? How did it shift power from, TV studios, record labels?
Or traditional gatekeepers.
Yeah, to individuals.
Well, think about it. Before YouTube, if you wanted to be a performer, a media figure, you had to go through this heavily curated system, right? Often totally inaccessible. A few powerful companies decided who got seen.
You get discovered.
Exactly. The partner program smashed that. It created this direct pipeline, creator straight to audience, bypassed the old industry completely. It meant talent, creativity, authenticity could find an audience no matter who you knew or where you came from. It built a whole new creative economy from the ground up.
So what did this mean for you, the viewer, or even someone thinking about creating? YouTube became like the new TV, but different.
Better in some ways. More interactive, definitely more intimate, often way more unfiltered.
As a viewer, you could comment, connect directly with creators, feel like part of it, not just watching passively.
Yeah, that engagement factor was key.
And the niche content, stuff you'd never see on broadcast TV. Fixing a sink, deep dives into obscure history, unboxing videos.
Whatever your interest, it was probably there. And that direct connection, that feeling of authenticity from someone genuinely passionate about their niche, Traditional media just couldn't replicate that vibe. It built these real communities.
And for creators, the barrier to entry just vanished.
Pretty much. Got a phone, got an idea, boom, global platform.
But with this massive scale, this global powerhouse status, came problems. Big ones.
Oh, inevitably. The sheer volume of content, managing it, understanding it, it became this huge ongoing challenge.
Right. And one of the first big headaches was copyright chaos.
Millions of videos uploaded daily, and big media companies, Viacom, Universal Music publishers started finding their stuff everywhere, unauthorized.
Leading to massive lawsuits. Billions of dollars on the line.
Huge stakes. YouTube had to react. Their answer was Content ID. This really sophisticated, automated system to detect and manage copyrighted material. A massive tech undertaking.
How well did it work?
It was kind of a double-edged sword. On one hand, groundbreaking tech, praised for managing content at that insane scale. It gave copyright holders tools to monetize, track, or block their stuff. Control they never had before.
But the downside?
The downside was significant. Content ID got blamed a lot for false claims, for demonetization. Legitimate creators would suddenly get flagged, lose their income because the algorithm made a mistake. Or worse, someone falsely claimed their content.
Imagine spending months on a video.
And boom, your revenue vanishes because of a bot. Immense frustration. Real financial instability for creators caught in the crossfire.
And those money issues really exploded with the Adpocalypse in 2017. That sounded serious.
It was serious, like an earthquake hitting the creator economy. What happened was, major brands, huge advertisers suddenly discovered their ads were running alongside really horrible stuff. Hate speech, extremist content, inappropriate kids videos.
A PR nightmare for them.
Massive nightmare.
Yeah.
Bad for their brand safety, their reputation, so they pulled their ad money out fast. En masse.
Ouch. So YouTube had to fix it.
Had to. It was a crisis. They reacted by significantly tightening the monetization rules, much stricter guidelines on what kind of content could actually earn ad revenue. They also invested way more in human moderators alongside the AI.
Necessary steps, presumably.
Absolutely necessary to protect advertisers, clean up the platform. But the impact on creators, devastating for many, even innocent ones. Income just plummeted overnight for people whose livelihood depended on those ads. It really exposed how fragile that ecosystem was.
Wow. Talk about tension. Platform responsibility versus creator livelihood.
Exactly, a constant balancing act.
And beyond ads and copyright, the algorithm itself came under fire.
Yeah, the core engine driving YouTube. Critics started saying the algorithm was actively pushing sensational stuff, conspiracy theories, these rabbit holes.
Where you click on one video and it just leads you down a path to more and more extreme content.
Right. All designed to maximize engagement, keep you watching longer. The worry was it was inadvertently radicalizing people or spreading misinformation like wildfire.
Which leads to that huge, thorny issue, censorship versus free speech.
The ultimate tightrope walk for a platform like YouTube. How do you remove genuinely harmful content, hate speech, dangerous lies, incitement, without silencing legitimate voices or stifling free expression?
Super difficult.
Incredibly difficult. Their moderation decisions often sparked huge political rows, accusations of bias from all sides. It raises that fundamental question: how does a platform this dominant define harmful content? How do they enforce it globally without messing up free expression?
And what does that mean for public debate?
Huge implications. YouTube wasn't just a video site anymore. It had become this global battleground. Ethics, algorithms, influence, its choices had real-world impact.
Yet, despite all these storms, YouTube just kept growing globally. It was relentless.
Truly astounding. Localized the site in, over 100 countries, 80 languages. It became genuinely worldwide, adapting everywhere.
And its impact went way beyond just entertainment. It became a tool for change.
Absolutely. The voice of resistance in Iran during protests, a vital organizing tool in Hong Kong, letting activists share their stories instantly with the world.
And connecting places like rural India.
Yeah, becoming a primary source for entertainment, news, information, bridging huge gaps traditional media just couldn't cross, connecting communities.
And they kept adding features, diversifying.
Constantly innovating. YouTube Premium and Originals, trying to compete directly with Netflix, funding their own high-quality shows.
YouTube Music, taking on Spotify.
Yep. YouTube Kids, trying to create a safer space for children, addressing those earlier concerns. And then YouTube Shorts, a direct response to TikTok.
Showing they could still pivot fast.
Absolutely. Plus, more ways for creators to make money directly. Super chat and live streams, memberships for exclusive content, the merch shelf to sell products, diversifying income beyond just ads.
And this whole ecosystem, this global reach, it spawned entirely new types of content, didn't it? Things that only really make sense on YouTube.
Oh, completely new industries and cultural phenomena. Unboxing videos. Who knew watching someone open a box could be so captivating?
Right, or mukbangs, people eating vast amounts of food, huge globally.
Especially huge in Asia, yeah. ASMR, those sensory videos, the whispering, tapping, designed to relax you, found a massive audience.
Study with me videos, virtual study buddies.
Edutainment, making learning fun and accessible. Science, history, languages, amazing resource. Speedrunning games, building intense communities, and reaction culture, watching people watch things.
It's meta, but huge.
What's amazing is how these super niche interests found massive, passionate global audiences, proved the internet could support hyper-specific communities like never before.
It wasn't about pleasing everyone anymore.
No, it was about passionate appeal to the right people. It just shows YouTube's power to cultivate totally new forms of expression, new ways to build communities, new forms of commerce. These weren't just fads. They became real genres, shaping culture.
And the creators themselves, they leveled up. Big time.
Dramatically. They weren't just individuals anymore. Many became like full-on corporations, complex businesses.
Like Mr. Beast. Started simple, now gives away millions, runs charities, multiple businesses.
An absolute phenomenon. Philanthropist, entrepreneur built entirely on YouTube. Or Emma Chamberlain, vlogger to Met Gala host, blurring those lines between online fame and traditional celebrity.
Influencing fashion, youth culture, or Markiplier.
Yeah, gaming commentator, launches production companies, clothing lines. These aren't just personalities anymore, they're media moguls, building sustainable empires, employing tons of people.
And that T-Series versus PewDiePie battle,
Yeah.
that felt symbolic.
Hugely symbolic. This giant Indian music label versus one Swedish gamer. It was like East versus West digital power playing out.
Traditional media versus individual creator.
Exactly. It showed just how global YouTube was. The biggest channels, the biggest voices could come from anywhere, challenging all the old hierarchies.
Then came COVID-19. The world locks down. And YouTube usage
skyrocketed. It became utterly essential, a lifeline really, for learning when schools shut, for laughs when everyone was anxious, for connection when we were all isolated.
Home workouts, cooking, virtual concerts, news, comfort.
Everything. It just solidified its indispensable role in modern life, no question.
And looking at YouTube now, it feels like AI is just woven into everything.
Deeply infused at every level. You see it in practical stuff like the auto captioning and translation, making content way more accessible globally.
That's huge for accessibility.
Massive, but also more creative uses. AI suggesting or even generating thumbnails to get more clicks. AI generating background music. And crucially, the personalization algorithm.
Tailoring everything you see.
Yeah, creating these unique, super engaging feeds for billions of users, often knowing what you want to watch before you do.
And that AI integration, it's going deeper, isn't it? Affecting the actual creation process now.
Absolutely. It's moving beyond just the back end. Generative AI is already helping creators with script writing, brainstorming, outlining, even drafting.
Wow.
It's assisting with video creation itself, automating editing tasks, generating visuals, maybe even creating whole animated sequences from just text prompts.
And synthetic voices, digital avatar.
That's coming too, which raises huge questions about authenticity, identity, who even made the content. It's fascinating how AI is shifting from just optimizing things to becoming part of the creative act itself, potentially democratizing creation even more, but adding way more complexity.
Which leads us to some really big, lingering questions as YouTube barrels into this AI future. For the platform, for all of us. Like, who decides what gets seen and what gets buried when content can be made or faked so easily?
A critical question.
Can creators even survive if they don't constantly feed the algorithm, especially if AI content starts competing?
The pressure is immense.
And the big one, will AI eventually just replace that human touch, that authenticity, that raw personality that made YouTube so compelling in the first place?
That's the existential question, right? This brings us to that core challenge. How does YouTube balance all this amazing tech progress with preserving genuine human expression, diverse voices, real connection?
A tough balance.
Especially with AI, deepfakes, immersive media like VRR, all evolving so fast, YouTube is right on the edge of its next huge transformation. The ethical, the creative implications, they're enormous, shaping how we get information, how we interact. Those core tensions between human creativity and the algorithm, they're only going to get more intense.
What a ride, though. From that tiny office, that awkward zoo video, YouTube is so much more than just videos now. It really is this mirror of society, our interests, our weirdness, our collective thoughts.
It reflects us back to ourselves.
It's a digital town square, you know? Debating ideas, forming communities, launching movements. It's a classroom. Free education for anyone online.
An incredible resource.
It's a newsroom, breaking stories sometimes faster than traditional outlets, offering different perspectives. And it's this global stage, launching careers, letting billions share their passions.
Yeah, from documenting revolutions to just providing chill background music to study to, YouTube has fundamentally changed how we learn, laugh, protest, shop, worship, even how we dream. It's permeated almost everything, connecting us in ways we couldn't have imagined before.
And the story, it's definitely not over. It's still being written. By the platform, sure.
Yeah.
But mostly by billions of us. Creators, viewers.
We're all part of it.
And with AI, deepfakes, immersive stuff coming, YouTube's right on the edge of whatever comes next. The future is totally unscripted.
Because ultimately, YouTube isn't just about watching, is it? It's about being seen. And in this world, increasingly driven by AI, curated by algorithms, what does that fundamental human desire to be seen actually mean? How does a platform like YouTube keep mediating that need for connection, for expression, for recognition, when technology can both amplify our voices, but also sometimes distort them?
That's the big question to ponder. How does technology serve that human need? Or does it start to shape it in unexpected ways?
Exactly. It's a question we'll all be grappling with as the story keeps unfolding, that ongoing tension between the tech and our most basic human impulses.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep being seen.